So to finish up, most commonly, a midterm packet was created for you guys during your implementation process. Your midterm packet is kind of like your catch-all. It's for anything that could have changed in between that move-in date and that lease end or renewal dates, because not everything perfectly aligns with either of those. So let's say someone got married, someone adds a pet, someone removes a parking item. That can happen anytime throughout a lease agreement, and we still would want to have documentation to cover that change in one site. So we still need to have access to our documents to still be able to capture the electronic signatures. And for that, you would rely on your midterm packet. Now, your midterm packet is not tracked like all your other packets. Your midterm packet is the only one that is not set to auto-generate for you automatically. And that's because it's not tied to any specific process, so it doesn't have any specific trigger action that it's looking for. Your midterm packet is tied to any process that could be happening within one site. So you will manually add the midterm packet when you feel it's needed. Because you have to manually add it, you will have to manually close it once it's been done. So you'll see that. Also, on our Today page, we're going to track it differently as well. So for any of our other packets, all of these numbers meant something new to us. It meant a different piece of information on where this packet was at in its overall process. Midterm packets won't have that because they don't have a desired move-in date or renewal date. They don't have a dedicated amount of time that this action needs to happen. It doesn't have any required documents because it doesn't know what's changing. So it's just providing you all documents for your choosing. So the only numbers that will change for a midterm packet are going to be these back three numbers. Required documents not finalized will change because that is how many documents you physically selected to generate within that midterm packet. Documents finalized will change. That will tell you how many documents out of the documents you selected are currently finalized with that green checkbox. And of course, your required documents ready for countersignature will always change if there is a pending signature required. So when we go to our midterm, we're going to go ahead and say that Mary, good old Mary who just renewed with us, did get married. Mary got married and she wanted to change her last name. So she came in, she provided us all the necessary paperwork, and we made that change within one site. Any change that's just informational, meaning it's not related to a charge, is instantaneous. As soon as we make that change, we can quickly access or create a midterm document and generate documents that would reflect that change. The only time it's not instantaneous is in the regard of a future charge. Midterm packets cannot pick up or read future charges. So if Mary wanted to add in a parking spot and she wanted to do so 3 days from now, we would have to tell Mary, okay, well, let's go ahead and get it off the market for you today. But in 3 days from now, when that parking spot becomes active, that is when you're going to sign your documents, and that is when we'll give you your parking pass. That is because when we add that parking spot for Mary to get it off the market, it's going to show in future scheduled billing. And it's going to stay there until it becomes an active charge, meaning it meets the start date and system date. Once it becomes a current charge, that is when you are able to generate a midterm packet to pick up that new change. That is the only time that you will have to wait to generate a midterm document to reflect a change. But we're just going to say she got married. That was just informational. So we're just going to go ahead now and go up to the Docs tab, go to Actions, New Packet. In the pull down, you are going to see all possible packets that are stored in your site. You have been trained in this recording where you should properly be accessing packets outside of a midterm packet. So do not be fooled by the other packets that are seen here. Only ever choose your midterm packets through your Docs tab unless told otherwise. Now when we click on Mary under Packets, we can see we have a midterm packet available, and we can open that packet up. Now, when we're inside the packet, again, it looks very similar. It is pretty similar to what we've seen. The only thing is we don't see those alarming red X's. And again, that is because nothing is initially set to required because the system really doesn't know what's happening. It needs you for that. So we're going to click Generate Forms, and we are going to physically choose what documents we want to generate to cover this change for Mary. So I'm going to select these and click Generate. Answer any user defines present on that form. And now the system understands, okay, well, these two documents were chosen. That means these two documents are required. And now I can see my red X's. And it's the same battle for any red X. If it's a form, I need to fully generate it, meaning I have the long message, verify the documents look good, collect my signatures. Same process. Mary's always old-fashioned. She always likes to sign pen and paper, so we're going to apply our OFSA seal. And because that was signed pen and paper, we always want to make sure we attach that pen and paper lease to be viewed at any time without the need of a paper file folder. And now we can see we've done everything inside this packet that we've indicated as a requirement, which moves us to completed packet status. But that's as far as a midterm packet will go on its own. Because a packet doesn't know when to start, it doesn't know when to end either. So what I suggest is once a week, assigning somebody in your office with the eDoc signer role to go to the midterm packet under the completed packet status and simply open each packet directly through the packet quick access point and just make sure everything's there that needs to be there. If it's OFSA, that they've uploaded the signed pen and paper copy. If it's DocuSign, that it's just been signed and has a green checkbox. If so, you'll go to the top of the page and click Close Packet. That will manually file that one away in your electronic filing cabinet. That is suggested because you can only have one midterm packet open for a resident at a time. So if Mary came in next week and got divorced, had we not closed that previous packet, we would not be able to create a new midterm packet for Mary to show that newest change. So we always have to close the packets and make sure that all of our completed packets are being closed and filed away into our packet snapshot.